Court orders Fani Willis to provide new information about her Trump RICO case and collusion with Jack Smith. Wow. The walls are closing in on Fani Willis, and it's also closing in on all these other political hacks that try to use their position to try to go after Trump. Chickens are finally coming home to roost, and it's some very, very entertaining things to see. Mind you, Fani Willis is the same person that brought the RICO charges against Young Thug, who's out on the street and stuff now. That shows how incompetent and untrustworthy she really is. But we're going to talk about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I'll talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Gateway Pundit, and they report that a Georgia state court ordered embattled Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to provide more information about her RICO case against Trump and collusion with Jack Smith. And look at another black district attorney or AG, either one. We kind of lump them together. But another attorney, another black female attorney that went for Trump. Notice how the left is using black women to try to, they use black women to try to take down Trump. and now that they're being called out on this, there's no help for them. The left, the Democrat Party, is nowhere to be found to help them in their fraudulent charges, right? But the Fulton County Superior Court last year found Fani Willis is in default for refusing to hand over documents in an open records lawsuit. So who is she protecting? She's protecting the Biden administration. I don't know why they're not protecting her, right? Fani Willis refused to answer a public records lawsuit seeking records of her communications with special counsel Jack Smith and the January 6th committee. Last year, conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch asked the Superior Court of Fulton County, Georgia, to declare a default judgment against Fani Willis after she refused to respond to his lawsuit related to communications she had with Jack Smith and the sham January 6th committee. Now, mind you, this is supposed to be public information. You're supposed to give this information up if one requests this information, but she's not doing it. She's refusing to give Judicial Watch this information. Again, why? Who is she protecting? She should just give over the information. These people don't care about you, Fani. But in 2022, House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan launched an investigation into whether Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis coordinated with federal officials during her years-long probe into Trump and his associates. Chairman Jordan, in his letter to Fani Willis, requested all documents and communications between or among the Fulton County District Attorney's Office and DOJ and its components, including but not limited to the Office of Special Counsel Jack Smith, referring or relating to your office's investigation of President Donald Trump or any other 18 individuals against whom charges were brought in the indictment. In referring to Jim Jordan's letter to Fani Willis, Judicial Watch filed a Georgia Open Records Act request seeking records of her communication with Jack Smith. According to Judicial Watch, the court ordered Fani, quote, to conduct a diligent search of her records for responsive materials within 5 business days of the entry of this order. Within that same 5-day period, defendant is ordered to provide plaintiff with copies of all responsive records that are not legally exempted or accepted from disclosure. Emphasis in original. Okay. Willis's office responded with 0 non-public documents. So mind you, she's charged with upholding the law. She get a judgment from the courts and she's not upholding the judgments. And she's supposed to be a district attorney? Are you serious? On Monday, the court ordered Fani to provide new information about her search for records related to her anti-Trump lawfare and collusion with Jack Smith. Judicial Watch reported. Judicial Watch announced today that Georgia State Court ordered Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis to provide new information and potentially conduct a new search for Trump-related records because her recent affidavit to the court made no reference to whether any searches of the devices of former Fulton County Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade or those of Chief Investigator Michael L. Hill, who was involved gathering evidence and coordinating investigative efforts and likely met with the January 6th committee. The court order was issued in a Judicial Watch lawsuit filed after Willis falsely denied having any records responsive to Judicial Watch's earlier Georgia Open Records Act request for communications with Special Counsel Jack Smith's office and or the January 6th committee, Judicial Watch Inc. v. Fani Willis et al., and they give the number there. A March 7, 2025 court order directed Willis to turn over 212 pages of records and provide an affidavit detailing how the records were found and the reason for withholding them from the public. The records were belatedly found in response to Judicial Watch's request and lawsuit. In a February 28th hearing, Willis's lawyer admitted to finding the records after what was believed to be a fifth search of her office. The court awarded Judicial Watch $21,578, attorney fees and costs. Willis's office made payment to Judicial Watch 10 days after the court order deadline. So they make payments, but they still not releasing the information, right? That is crazy. Who are you protecting, Fani? Why are you protecting this, the Biden administration? These people don't care anything about you. Stop protecting the left. Stop protecting these Democrats and start protecting yourself and release this information. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.